Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back to a new episode of Hunt for the Paranormal.
Yeah.
And on today's show, it's a little different. We have the other brother.
Yes.
my little bigger brother.
Yeah, your little bigger brother,
Yeah.
Abraham.
Hello there. My name's Abraham, as you've heard.
Yeah, he's watched most of our shows, and even I got a text one morning after he's like, "So you had a dream about me?" When I told him about the stabbing, he's like, "What about this dream?" Like I never mentioned it to him. I just brought it up on the show. He's just like,
Little do you know, it wasn't a dream. That'd be something, right? Just stab marks. Like, thanks.
I actually had another dream about that. Well, I don't know why it always involves him. It's funny.
Maybe because you guys are close.
He doesn't
I think so.
mention
It's
this
like
to me
I guess
at all.
I don't know. I guess I worry about some things attacking him or something, which makes me worry. Like, what if something spiritual, like they can't get to me? So what if they try to get to him?
Maybe it's because you're just protective.
Yeah, or who knows? But this
it
dream
looks like he could protect you, if anything.
What
Who
he
knows?
did wrestling in high school, so
see
he
that?
could.
It's
He
fun.
could be.
I'm right
he
there
could
with
be
you,
my-
man.
yeah.
I'm right there
Yeah.
with you.
So in this dream, I don't know. It's always like a reoccurring dream where it's up in the hills in Whittier, like not in the hills, but like the neighborhoods before. Like we drove up, Washington. If you're from the area, you know those where those houses are, and it's weird because it's like I'm always walking up in the like Turbo Canyon Hills, like hiking, and then I'm coming down back home, and then I'm always going through those neighborhoods. Right, in this reoccurring dream, and there's always one house, and it always looks decrepit and just torn up, and it's like a good
creepy looking.
2-story house, like a big place.
Is it like one of those Victorian type style
Not
houses?
so much. It looks like kind of like the houses in Whittier, but more in the sense of just
abandoned,
two
broken
stories
down,
tall,
creepy.
really wide, just kind of square in a sense of like that. But it's like it kind of reminds me of like the hills have eyes, kind of
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's a like deformed man, and he lives at the house, and like he goes up and down the canyon, and it's always, I don't know why, but I'm always in the different parts of the dream, different moments, but it's always this guy.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why it's the most reoccurring dream I've
Maybe
had.
that guy really lives up there.
That, or maybe it's just some spiritual force that I'm starting to see in my dreams this way, or I don't know why, because I'm
insidious type of thing just travels to you in your dreams.
yeah, I don't know, like that's how that, because even the Norse people, they believed in that there's meaning towards dreams, but then there is nonsensical dreams that just come out of nowhere and it's just completely random.
Well, there's been a lot of civilizations, like ancient civilizations, who actually think that there are meanings to dreams.
Yeah, but not all of them, but the ones that kind of leave that impact. And this one, like I don't know. I always watch horror movies, as we all know, and like I'm not afraid so much of the deformed or the scary looking person, but it's the feeling that comes with this dude. It's like he's hunting you.
Just an
he
ominous,
knows you're
fucking
around.
weird feeling.
Yeah, and he's always trying to get you. And like in this dream, it started out different. Like because every time it's like always him trying to get me, or if he catches me up in the hills or something like that. But this one was like we're going to a party, right?
Yeah.
And as we're going into this house, like I didn't recognize that it was the same house. But as we're going through, there's all these little kids around.
Yeah.
Like just these, like I don't know. That's what's creepy. I know Mike's gonna like it because just a bunch of creepy children just standing in the hallways and stuff. And at first,
Well, that sounds weird.
yeah, that's one of the things in my head. I'm like, what's wrong with this party? Why do they have kids around? And then like next thing I know, it's a trap. You know, the kids are fucking there to help kill us.
Dude,
and like
just
as we're
write
about
it
to run
down.
out, I'm gonna make this.
Write it all down. Make it
The
a
whole
little
the
short
beginning
film.
of the story is pretty much I've been having the recurring dream, or like you know, and then it's gonna dive into a deeper. Maybe it's something real.
Just call it like reoccurring or something.
Yeah, and then it turns out like it's a natural spiritual force or something on the lines of that. So
What if you do like a thing where you kind of make into like a series where multiple people have reoccurring dreams, but every person has a different fucking.
oh,
like,
that one's
dream.
called Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, nah, but
Yeah, naturally.
But I don't know. I definitely want to do it. But as we were like trying to run and get out the house, of course they use him as leverage, and like they're using him as a hostage again. Another part of the recurring dream. But as I remember, like trying to get out of the house before they lock us down, now the children have like skulls painted on their faces.
the hell?
Yeah,
Kinda
like I don't know where they changed. Yeah, and they were like spiritual or
Dia
like
de los Muertos type of
yeah,
thing.
like
Oh.
very much just black and like kind of Punisher style, where it's just black and white skull. Yeah, and then I just remember trying to get out, and then we had to like go back in order to get someone out. And it was then you know I woke up. But
Always when it gets good, it's like,
Yeah.
wake up, you're like, no, I want more.
yeah,
One more.
So just to clarify, I didn't get hurt in this dream.
no, you got kidnapped though.
All right. Okay. I'm at least fine with that.
Maybe it's gonna continue on to the next one. Like, all right, now I gotta find him.
All right.
Well, because that's always a part of the dream. It's like, I remember, okay, like I'd be up in the hills and this thing's coming, and it's always like, it's kind of dressed like a homeless person, or like one of the newer versions of Frankenstein, where he's got like patches of different clothes sewn together and stuff like that. And he's just going through the hills, and then like now that I've been dreaming about it, I see him coming, or I know he's around, you know. And then I'll dive down in the bushes and avoid him, but then there'll be other people going up the trails and they don't know about him, and that's like that seems to be the focus on the dream.
That's weird.
So it's been interesting, very interesting.
I wish I could remember more of my dreams. I just never can.
Just start focusing on it. Honestly, just even write a little note, because when you write it down, that's connecting to that part of your mind. And so the more you do that, it's like you're making more neural pathways to actually remember. Yeah.
I tried to do a lot of stuff to remember, but it just feels like I never really hit that
A year
REM
or
cycle.
two ago, like I was convinced I wasn't having dreams until I actually started focusing on it.
Yeah. Once in a while I'll have them, but they have to be like really, really powerful dreams. Other than that, nothing.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I feel like I always remember these ones in such detail, is because you're afraid. Yeah.
That's why, dude. The ones that freak me out the most are the ones where you wake up in a panic, but you don't know why.
Oh.
Yeah, you just wake up like, oh my god, like what's the hell was that? Like what just happened? Like,
well, I've had like horror movie dreams where, like, you know, when they fall asleep and then they dream that they're being attacked wherever it is they're falling asleep.
Yeah.
Like I had a dream like that, and I guess you can. It was the first like deformed person I was watching Wrong Turn, and then I fell asleep, and where I was sleeping it was like on this couch right next to the window. So as soon as I fell asleep, like I'm watching myself sleep, and someone bashes through the window and starts pulling me through it, and he's like a deformed, crazy looking dude. And I wake up and I just like move the covers and just stare at my feet. I don't know.
Are they still there?
My mind wasn't working yet, but I was just like just obsessed with the feet. Like, are those okay? All right, yeah.
No, see, like I remember one dream that I had. It was just mostly because you know when you try to go to sleep, sometimes you just leave the TV on, just like listen to whatever's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a dream I was in The Office, like the TV show.
Oh.
That's a bit. It was fun. There's nothing crazy or scary about it. It was just fun.
Okay, I thought it was going to take a dark turn.
Oh no! Yeah, I killed everybody in the office. Me and Dwight just went on a rampage. But
See, I just only have weird dreams.
Like what?
Like I've gone on a road trip for some reason, like in a desert with some random person, and we're driving, and then next thing we know, we're trying to go to a party, and we're hanging out. There's this girl with like green hair. She wants to join on the road trip. We continue like just going down. We stop at a gas station. Someone like just turns into a robbery all of a suddenly, and like we're being hunted, like pointed at gunpoint. Yeah, hold up at gunpoint, and then next thing I know, like he shoots at her, shoots at me. And I react and basically take the gun and shoot him in the head. And like, then it just like cuts frame into like maybe an hour has passed. The police are there and we're all just on the curb shaking. And then the story continues like as if, okay, we're still going to continue this road trip. And
Everybody's just quiet in the car.
Yeah. And typically in my dreams, like I usually see it in third person. Yeah. So
you see yourself.
See, I never
it's either I'm seeing myself or it's like I'm sitting on the couch watching a movie of me doing these things. Well, and I'm just like, all right, this is interesting.
How is that perspective of seeing yourself in the third person though? Like, do you like recognize that it's yourself? Or do you like?
Yeah, I kind of do. Like I'll either. Like in another dream, I was like in a car and the car was going like extremely fast and we were going through woods and stuff. And then it jumps to me being in a diner and with a group of people. And I look out the window and I see the same car go past by, like as if that scene is still happening to me. But at a different point of view, and I'm just in a new different person's body or something.
Well, I kind of read that, like, in order to have a full fluid dream, not to watch TV about 2 hours before you go to sleep, and that's because movies jump scene by scene like that and show you different people's point of view. So it could be your mind jumping to that, but then like the first thing I think about is like maybe he's like his spiritual mind is more in tune to like having the outer perspective from different mindsets and stuff like that, like where it's all connected, you know.
Would you want to have like an out of body experience?
I would. I mean, I'd love to like experience something like that.
Yeah. Do you think you would like if by chance you woke up in another body, right? Do you think you would recognize yourself if you saw yourself out in public?
Yes.
You think so?
I kind of think so.
Because a lot of people say that you wouldn't really recognize yourself if you were out in the street, like if you saw yourself.
Like, I don't think I would recognize my voice, but if I saw like how I walk, I think I would recognize it.
But like, would you be able to recognize yourself from like if you saw yourself from behind?
Oh,
because how often do we see our own backs?
You're talking about like more doppelganger or more sense of like spiritual side,
kind of like
a reincarnation. You see another reincarnated version of yourself.
See, that's weird. Well, you know, there's an app out there that helps you find your doppelganger, right?
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah.
Whoa.
Wait, what?
Yeah. There's an app out there that'll help you find your doppelganger.
I need to find this.
I'm gonna stop this live feed and do this right now. Then
There is an app that you can find. It'll help you find your doppelganger. I guess you like upload your picture and all that stuff, and
It'll find the other
do
person
like
that
a
has the
search.
same
Yeah,
picture.
it'll do a search for people with your same kind of features and stuff.
Well, I went to high school with someone like
That's really
everybody thought
cool.
we were brothers and stuff. It was like, yeah.
It's weird, huh? But that's the thing, though. There's
But
some
do you
people,
want to see it?
like, have you seen those pictures where people actually look about 98% just like each other?
We're just
I
all
mean,
different
it's hard.
variations.
They're like, dude, you guys look like twins.
And what's always
Yeah,
funny is that they're
or-
always like the completely different race than you are.
The thing is, too, sometimes a lot of people see each other, like see their own doppelgangers in airports because everyone's traveling in and out and all that stuff.
Yeah.
There's been cases of people sitting next to their doppelganger and be like, dude, what the hell? This is weird.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
I remember there was a video of where like two doppelgangers like actually took a blood test to see how much their DNA was like similar. Completely different though.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Genetics, man. I don't get it.
Well, yeah. Well, I studied it in school where like they showed the same person and then all they did was change the shades of color, and it just shows that like every single race has the different, all the same featers.
Well,
it's
what if
just
you met
different
an Asian you?
mixtures of it all. I would imagine probably there's a Filipino guy. There's probably like 8 of them there that look just like me.
Why 8? Why 8 of them?
I don't know. I was just throwing out a random number. Forgot to put on the music. There we go.
Oh, it's all good. Mostly just talking
I was
about
like, why
dreams.
is it so quiet?
Yeah. I think we should actually get into our topics.
Yeah. Well, dreams is always like part of it, especially.
I just always talk. We always do a first little.
Yeah, we're
little
kind of
thing.
going back to things we talked about before. That's why we're bringing on Abraham here. And last week we were actually talking about. I told the Red Orb story.
Yeah.
So he was the one who actually saw that. So we'll get his first-hand
That, when he was telling me that was crazy.
Yeah.
So I didn't see that episode first of all, so I don't know how he told this
I
story.
got it wrong. I actually thought you were the one that was out there first and got Shawn, but it was the opposite apparently. Yeah.
So my stepbrother was out on the phone, like talking to someone that he was doing business with, and I was inside, and I was gonna go with him, like, on a drive to somewhere. So I was putting on my shoes and all that. I didn't have my glasses on, and him knowing me, like, he couldn't just come out and be like, Abraham, there's something in the sky. No. He just goes and like just waves to me like to follow him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, okay. I don't even have all my shoes on. Like, I have one shoe on. I go outside and he points, and he's still on the phone listening to this guy, and I'm just like, what's that? Like, I'm looking at him and I'm just like, that's something like, no, because it was maybe the size of my fist, just in the sky, clear day, maybe around 5 or 6 o'clock. And the first thing that like came into my head, I'm like, is that like a star going like supernova? Because it was just this red flaming kind of look. But me, like, I'm just a completely illogical dude. I don't like to see things in like, oh yeah, no, it's a UFO, or oh, this is a plane. All of a sudden, I'm like, no, planes don't look like this. My first thought was like, it's a star going like exploding.
Yeah.
But then my instant reaction to that was I was like, we would all be dead if I saw that.
Yeah.
Well, if we were able to see it explode from like that
That
close,
close.
Yeah,
then
that's
it's gonna
why.
have some kind of impact.
Yeah.
On us. Yeah.
But I saw that and I was like, all right, okay. And I'm still staring at it and trying to figure out what it was. I was maybe thinking it was a rocket, but I didn't see any smoke debris. So I was like, all right, trying to figure it out. But as time goes on, I slowly start to see the orb go back. Like, it's not going over the horizon, but it's getting further and further back.
Yeah.
Like, but still staying in the same spot that it was at, but getting further back. So I was just like, I need to go inside, grab my glasses, and make sure I am seeing exactly what I'm seeing. I go inside,
So it
grab
looked
my
like
glasses.
It was either like going straight line, shrinking, or
Yeah, straight
or
lines.
going further and getting smaller in that sense.
I would say going in a straight line, shrinking, not going like over the horizon, like when you see a plane go by.
This thing was slowly disappearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one of the features that I saw it doing, it was just pulsating, like if it was like slowly going in and out of like being really bright red to like going to a white, and then just going slowly in and out.
Kind of like if it was like breathing or had
Yeah.
a heartbeat, like we said like last time.
Pulsating, yeah.
Yeah.
But I totally forgot that it changed colors, white and red.
Yeah, it was just like it just eventually slowly just disappeared, and then he eventually got off the phone and I was just like, okay.
I love the fact that
like-
Shawn didn't even hang up his phone while seeing this thing there. He's just like,
No.
brings
And
Abraham
that's-
out.
On it.
That's the thing. I
One
told.
moment, wait,
Oh, sorry.
look it over there. And then he, I was just like, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
you got
no,
me.
just like, him on the phone.
Like what?
It's like what?
Tripping me out, man. I thought there was one in here.
No, but what he told me like before, he was like, no, it was the size of a basketball before he got me. Apparently,
What the hell?
yeah, he thought it was like he was telling me it's like a size of a basketball. I'm like, and I'm looking at him as if I'm like, are you telling the truth or are you just over dramaticing it? Because I just saw this, and I believe what you say. Like you're there's this orb in the sky, but was it really that big? Because he thought it was like maybe a drone above our backyard at one point. Like that's what he told me. But then he had to realize I can't be the only one who sees this, so that's why he went inside to get me out of all the people.
Smart though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go for the logical ones. Like he thinks a lot more than I do. Like I'll choose him. Like,
He reads bugs. But he just, I don't know. Just imagine if he came back with Abraham and then it's gone. Like he just thinks he's crazy
Right.
or something.
So what do you think it was, Abraham?
Again, I immediately started thinking it was a star. Then I went to a rocket. And I'm like, it's not a plane because it
But you
didn't
said
go
it's
over.
smokeless fire.
Yeah, it was like a ball of fire, pulsating.
Do you think that could have been a UFO?
I mean,
Well, technically it was a UFO, but it's
technically,
unidentified.
Yeah.
Do you think it could have been extraterrestrial though?
As far as what I told my stepbrother,
Mm-hmm.
I told him that I'm like, as far as I know, it's not a man-made thing that I know of.
Yeah.
Like,
But then
if it-
again, there's a lot
yeah.
of things that the governments are hiding from us.
Well, this is
That's why.
exactly what we were saying when, like, I saw that UFO and it was just like a caterpillar of lights.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know anything that moves that way, but then again, with the stealth bomber, things like that, there's been planes around for 10 or plus years that we haven't even been told of. you
Well,
know?
it was like that the story that I told you guys of me and my buddy driving down at like fucking 12 or 1 in the morning, where we saw what looked like a plane. Right, you see the two lights on the wings and the light in the back, just flashing, doing its thing, and then the light in the back goes out and it just splits up and goes in two different directions.
Oh.
Mind you, it was flying pretty low, and you're like, no, if it was a plane, you'd be able to hear it. If it was a helicopter, you'd be able to hear it. But nothing. So we thought it was a little plane just because there's an airport in Fullerton, so we
Yeah.
thought it was going there. But there's no noise, nothing. You heard no like engine or anything going, and then the lights just split up and take off in different directions. I thought I was the only one seeing it because my buddy was driving. I was like, "What the hell?" He saw. He's like, "What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?" We got kind of tripped out, and we went and got McFlurries to ease our minds.
Oh.
Yeah, it was weird. So we think we saw a UFO.
Well, yeah.
Because I don't know about you. I've never seen a plane just split into two and take off different directions.
Right? Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And they say they usually hang around airports and stuff anyway to see what all these flying things are. So that's my guess what I saw. But I don't know. Yours sounds like it could be a UFO because I've seen plenty of things where they say it is like a flashing red like orb and it just floats around.
Yeah.
Didn't they see kind of the same thing in Roswell or something?
I believe so. Yeah.
Just like a glowing light or something.
I don't know, because I don't know. My mind always goes in the sense of spirituality and stuff like.
Yeah.
Or who's to say aliens aren't like interdimensional beings?
Well, there was an interview a while ago on I forgot what station it was, but it's the one where they talk about all the conspiracies and aliens and all that stuff. It's like early in the mornings. But a guy was saying that he's like, what you guys think is are aliens is kind of wrong because they're interdimensional beings, so they can be everywhere and we won't even know if they're there at all. So
that's in the sense of like the Watchers or the Shadow People, I believe.
Yeah.
Or that I think that's one theory that like makes a lot of sense to me. That's what we're seeing. Like I don't know, maybe the extraterrestrials are us just on a different plane.
It could be. There's that video too of well, this one was completely like fan made type thing, but it seems plausible where the extraterrestrial came back and talks about how they were us, like us humans, but from the future, and they came back to warn us about the nuclear war that could happen and stuff, and how to prevent it. Yeah.
But then again, if like the thing about time, if you go back in time to stop something from happening, therefore that thing never happened. You never went back in time to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, so
just
how
fucked my mind up.
Well, that's why time travel's messed up in that sense, because that's the paradox. They say that time could collapse on itself if it doesn't make sense, and for every action there's a complete and opposite reaction. So if you take out that opposite reaction, then like the physics get thrown upside down. But then again, that's only our understanding of physics.
Well, speaking of physics, what about the Mandela Effect?
What's that?
The Mandela Effect, pretty much how, okay, say if there's, well, the movie Kazam, right? With Shaq? Well, there's Kazam, but then also people also remember a similar movie, but with Sinbad.
Yeah.
But that movie, I mean, there's hundreds of people who like, yeah, I saw this movie when I was a kid. Like Sinbad was a genie and he helped the kid and all this stuff, and they remember it with Sinbad. I'm one of those people who remember it with Sinbad, but I also remember the Shaq one.
My stepbrother is too.
Right?
Like
you
I actually
it was Sinbad.
And
like,
this doesn't exist.
It doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
So they're saying that it could be another version of our universe that
we all got a glimpse
got
of?
like deleted, right? But it got merged. So all of our energy and all the things that happened went into another parallel universe where everything's the same except for that.
Because I'm like, as you're saying, I'm envisioning it, and I remember seeing it. Like, I remember seeing it.
Everything is
it was
exactly
more
the
light
same.
colored, right? His costume was more beige in sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why the like?
Yeah. See, but
is that the
exist.
chicken or the egg thing? Is that
Yeah.
something because we believe in it so much that we make it a reality, or is it? I don't. That's fucking.
See,
I thought that was
which,
real.
which is weird.
Yeah.
'Cause I remember it as a memory, but if it doesn't exist, what the fuck?
Yeah, but there's been multiple things like that. Like people that it's called the Mandela Effect because people thought that Nelson Mandela, and they swear that he had died
in prison
in like what 1988, 80
yeah.
something.
And they didn't.
But no, he died in 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah. Out
the
of
ripple
jail.
effect in a
Like,
sense. Yeah.
It's weird. So they're saying that could be like our universe kind of like going to complete shit, but just moving to one other parallel universe where everything's exactly the same. So we all shifted into this universe where everything's exactly the same except minor
So you're saying when we destroy our universe,
we go to another one
we continue on. Oh fuck!
because they're saying that there's like
It's
a whole.
just
You're giving imagine blowing my
imagine
mind
a
right
whole bunch of lines next to each other, right?
Well, that's
All
the
parallel lines,
Hindu
but they all have
belief is
little
that
differences.
our universe, essentially the entire universe,
It's an
is
infinite of
destroyed.
universes.
Yeah,
There's
infinite.
infinite
And
universes.
it destroys itself an infinite amount of times, and it's reborn an infinite amount of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like what like, but who's to say? Because like it feels to us
Like imagine
as if we're continuing one continued timeline when we're hearing more and more that time's not linear. You know, it's like a river or if it's like a pond in a sense where there could be many drop points.
Oh, yeah.
So like, but like, does that mean the other versions of ourselves are on like autopilot until the
No,
main?
they're just living
No.
out, they're just living out their life, just
No.
like we're living out ours.
But why
It's-
do we remember it?
Because it's your memories just
Yeah,
like
just
fusing
yeah.
together. So
Because I was like looking at it in the sense of like, okay, we're living that life, right? Imagine like a movie, and
Could-
then 2012 happens, and the Mayan apocalypse was real in that universe,
Yeah.
and it all ends.
Yeah.
But then again, we wake up the next day like Groundhog's Day, as if nothing
yeah,
happened.
nothing happened. It's just another day.
yeah,
But to us, we're still living that exact same life, considering the fact that we remember the Sinbad
Yeah, because in
Exact-
that the differences are so small, so
Yeah.
minuscule
that it doesn't.
that it
faze
doesn't.
us.
No, but it's just little things like say, you know how they say every person can look different a million ways in every different universe,
Yeah.
right? So imagine if somebody has like a mole on their left cheek, but then
Or a
all of a
scar.
sudden it's on their right, and you're like, wait, no, I could have sworn it was on the other, but you don't even think about it.
yeah,
And to everybody else, like, no, it's always been there. Like,
Yeah.
people will be like, no, it was over here. It's stuff like that.
Well, because that goes into the idea of like witchcraft in a sense too. Like, if you believe in it, like, remember that part in The Craft where the lady, like, they change their hair color,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Well, that's the idea of the witchcraft behind it. That you can change anything, but if you see it, it's not real, right? Like, you can go and like focus. My eyes are blue. My eyes are blue. My eyes are blue. But if you look in the mirror and see it, it becomes not real. But let's say if I go outside and I run into you, you're gonna see my eyes as blue.
That's weird.
Like, and is that because I'm projecting it onto you, or like what is reality, or what makes that solid? You know, like,
Which is weird.
Like-
maybe the Mandela effect is a form of witchcraft that just happened over fucking
well, I'm saying,
billions of years.
did so many people believe that Sinbad played the genie?
Yeah.
yeah.
That we
Lots
were.
of people.
Yeah,
There-
but was that maybe a couple people's view of it and started projecting it so much, and now that we're starting to feel the effects of it, they believe it so much that it's actually starting to become reality?
Well, I remember looking for it back in like the early
Because
2000s.
I remember.
Yeah,
it.
no, see, that's why I'm like, I remember going into like just like a Blockbusters
Yeah,
or just a
yeah.
video rental store and seeing
and
it.
seeing it.
Because Shaq never had the
But
hat.
I never saw the movie.
No, he never had the hat.
I remember him
You-
wearing
see,
the,
you
the
remember
red
with the
jewel.
hat,
He had a
yeah.
red jewel right in the middle.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude? Yeah.
It's
Like,
weird.
this is tripping me out because I'm getting like chills.
It's
As
the
like,
Mandela effect.
Yeah.
It's so
and that's what
strange.
happens with a lot of people.
it's like beige with gold trimming, right? Yeah, fucking A,
I
dude.
think I have a story that you would like to read.
Is it?
Oh, yeah,
If
what
it's,
is it?
If it's that movie, then yeah.
It's
no,
bad.
it's not that movie.
No,
It's
but yeah,
just
like a lot of people have talked about that movie, how they've seen it, and some people are like, "No, you're crazy." No, it's out there.
yeah.
Technically, it's not.
It's like
'Cause
if
I
you
remember, like,
compare.
the cover and everything, he's like standing there with that big goofy smile he always has.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, like
because
Yeah.
Shaq's version,
Yeah.
he's standing there just straight face, arms crossed, just looking
Nah,
straight.
I just remember him with the little
But,
white
yeah,
kid, and he's
Sinbad.
just got that big
Yeah.
smile on his
Sinbad
face.
said he never done that movie either.
Yeah.
yeah,
What
he
the
says he's never done it.
Fuck.
He
So he has no recollection of it.
nope,
like, in
not
the
at
movie.
all.
Nope.
See, and that's so strange that we all remember, but the person that's involved in
Or
it.
maybe it did happen in an alternate universe, but then
That's
in
what I'm
this
saying,
universe,
yeah.
it was
It
Shaq
didn't.
who did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
That we're getting, like, just like deja vu.
Yeah.
We're getting that little
Except
ripple effect of like
An
we've been here
extreme
before.
version of deja vu.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a trip. Well, like, what's that
Fucking
fucking?
universe-wide.
What's that movie where the kid he goes back in time or something, or it's like Last Action Hero, and then he goes in and the Terminator's played by Sylvester Stallone.
Oh God, I don't know.
He was never the Terminator. Like,
Dude, it's a complete possibility.
that's a trip, dude. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm gonna really
Wow.
start.
Yeah, you have
I'm
to,
gonna
you
check
have
it
to
out.
definitely
now,
check out the Mandela effect. If you guys haven't heard about the Mandela effect either, check it out. It will trip you out.
Because the thing with
it had
Mandela,
me, it had
thinking
me
that
going
he
on a
died in
hunt
prison.
for like about 2-3 weeks, just searching up things about the Mandela effect and little changes that have happened, and it tripped me the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like it gets to the point where you're like, no, I'm turning this off. Like, no, this.
Well, that's
this
how
is
you
weird.
got me for a bit. I was like,
weird.
oh shit.
Yeah.
Like,
And there's still a debate whether or not it's out there or not. Yeah.
Well, that's because I had no idea about this theory yet. I remember that movie specifically. That's what's a trip.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird one out there, but it's definitely a big theory.
I love it. That was the best part.
I think the part that gets really really crazy about it is how people explain the Mandela effect, like how they explain the parallel universes, the infinite amounts of parallel universes that go away and new ones come forming and all this stuff, just because it's never ending.
Well, like
That's
for
the
all
point
the
of it.
geeks out there, the way I always like to look at it is the sense of Dragon Ball Z with Trunks. You know, he went back in time to stop something from happening, And rather than it changing his timeline, it created a new one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe that could happen too.
Well, that's because if you go back in time, you change it.
Yeah.
But if you change someone else's timeline, therefore yours still stands and time is held, together.
Now imagine how many times in our lifetime have we gone through multiple parallel universes without us knowing?
Billions. Like we've said it like plenty of times on the show where like, okay, a prince was a great man here in this timeline, but in another one he could have been a douchebag or a homeless person. Yeah. I think we get to certain points where we all might be famous at one point or do something great, but then it's up to us to like remain humble or remain true. Yeah. Or lose ourselves completely and become like Kanye West.
Or maybe our alternate people are just actually having the same conversation, just a little bit different. Yeah. Maybe you're wearing a red shirt instead of a gray.
Yeah.
Having the exact same conversation.
Iron Man instead of Cap.
Same location, everything, but maybe I'm black.
Well, yeah, that's just an infinite amount of choices.
Anything can happen, man. Might have a pierced ear, fucking, I don't know, anything.
Might be gay, might be straight, might be bi, doesn't matter. Yeah. I honestly think we'll live every instance of life, so we truly knows what it means.
I wonder if that could have happened.
Yeah.
If like a universe merges where all of a sudden, say if you're straight in one universe, all of a sudden you're gay in the next. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it makes sense.
If like the whole Mandela, like, wait, I could have sworn he was straight. Like, nah, he's not.
You sure back in high school?
No.
Yeah. It was,
but
I
believe
that's tripping me out again.
Yeah.
For every possibility, it most likely is true. And like that's something I always believe too. Like, what's more of a like, say me and my fiance or your fiance, like I consider soulmates. What if the soulmate idea is like you in another life, or like you're just finding the two sides of yourself to make you like, and essentially like by helping each other, you're essentially helping yourself become the better version of yourself in the sense of like spirituality or that idea of a soulmate. Because what if like you're gay in one universe and like I have to find my fiance Gina, but now under those circumstances, when what would make it harder than anything is like when society disagrees
then,
with
her
it.
name would be Jean or something.
So, who knows? Like anything like that. But would that be like the irony of like the test or something? Yeah.
Right. Or what if in every universe you end up actually meeting the same person in every universe and getting married and doing the same thing with everybody, but just that they look a little bit different here and there.
Or
different ethnicities, but they're all the same person.
That's another thing like me and my fiance talked about before. Like if she dies early, if I die early, who's to say that the next person she ends up with isn't me? Yeah. In a different point in my life or my existence.
Yeah.
Because there's always that idea of like, there's never that resentment of like you like those stories where they see their loved ones and they're just like, live your life, have fun, be happy, be at one, have peace. Like they don't care that they're gonna be with someone else, and why is that? Is it just
greed? Humans
well, as human beings, but what if it's on another scale? Because like whoever you end up might be a part of that whole wheel, of fortune, or like
that's weird.
I don't know. It's the little things that get stoned.
I think with that we're gonna have to end it just because we've hit that mark in time, but it's also been a weird one. That tripped me out. I'm gonna be thinking about.
Now it's a good conversation. Now I really liked it.
We didn't hit some of the topics we wanted to, but
that's
fine by me.
So next week, because it was Mike's topic anyways, and we had to bring on my brother to tell his little story. So next week we will be discussing Cowhead and
the Michigan
dog, the Michigan dog man.
Yeah. So we're gonna be hitting that up. With that, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Good night. Wait.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.